Alright, we're probably good to go live here. Hello, welcome to the stream. We're streaming Phantasy Star Online Blue Burst. We're doing all the quests on all the episodes. This isn't a speed run or anything. This is just me playing through it because I love this game to absolute pieces. And I just want to share it with friends, anyone else who wants to come hang out. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. If you're new here, welcome. You're probably new here because I don't get like any viewers at all. It's lunchtime where I'm at, and I just had some absolute killer tuna melts. I've been making sourdough recently. I have a sourdough starter that I started last week, and it is absolutely out of control, so I've had to put it in the fridge. But I made a really good pile of bread. And yeah, I made some tuna melts today. Tuna melts are one of my favorite things to have for lunch. It used to be my wife's favorite thing to have for lunch, but then for whatever reason, tuna just does not agree with her anymore. My wife also has a lot of food allergies, so that doesn't help. But tuna, for whatever reason, it used to be her favorite, and then it's gone. Anyway, so we're going to get back into the caves. We're hopefully going to clear those today, show you off the caves boss, which is one of my favorite bosses of all time, not just in this game, but probably in all games. We're going to talk to this guy. I have no idea what this guy's about. We're just going to take a gamble with $1,000 because I don't have anything else to spend it on, really. Alright, I got a telepipe. That's nice. I'm pretty sure I had a full inventory of those. But you know what? That's just what happens when you gamble. Don't gamble, kids. So we're jumping on into the government quests. 2-2, baby. We're like almost 7 hours into this game already. If this had been a speed run, I think we would be done by now. Talk to Irene. So I'm going to be very interested to find out if me hitting the pillar in one of those other non-story quests by accident is going to carry over into this now story quest. If that is the case, that'll be interesting. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to go through with it anyway. So in case you're just joining for the first time, maybe you're watching on YouTube or whatever, or you're just popping in to see, oh, what's this weird slightly overweight guy doing playing a game I know nothing about. Looks like it's 20 years old. That's because it is 20 years old almost. But I played the absolute hell out of this game on the GameCube. And it's just now that I'm really starting to get into it on PC again, however many years later. But I've never played Blue Burst, which includes an extra episode. The GameCube version had episodes 1 and 2, which I played all the way through multiple times on basically every difficulty. I never got to ultimate difficulty, or I never got too far into ultimate difficulty. I think I did one stage on ultimate, and then after that point I ended up selling my GameCube and all of my games because I was a fool and I needed money for some reason. But that was not a happy time in my life, getting rid of all of that stuff. I really wish I had hung on to it, but you know what? The emulation scene for GameCube is just so damn good right now that the only thing I would be holding on to really is the physical, you know, actually having the game in your hands, which for some people is enough. I definitely feel like I could be one of those people if I could afford it. But physical copies of games, having all these systems and stuff like that, it's just, you know, it takes up a lot of space. those games can start failing. It's a luxury to have physical copies of games. If you have them, I would say hold on to them as long as you can. But unfortunately, I did have to get rid of mine. So I started playing through again on emulator, and it was okay. But you know, emulator, you run into certain limitations depending on how strong your PC is, or just how good the emulation is. And I just figured, you know what? I could be playing this on PC just legitimately, the PC version, and then I would also be getting more content. I would be able to play online. I think you can play online through emulator, but it's a process that I haven't delved too far into just because it's so much easier to get started on PC. Anyway, so all of the content in episode 4, all of the government quests, any online quests that I might decide that I might want to do in this run, which I don't think I'm going to be doing any, but maybe post-game I might decide, you know what, let's do one for fun. But I haven't done any of those. So this whole thing with government quests is completely new to me. There's totally new enemy placements, room placements, all this other stuff. When I was really into this game as a teenager, I had like layouts memorized because it didn't change for like quests and stuff like that, but also for story quests there was only like 2 or 3 layouts, and they rotated, but the layouts themselves never changed. So it was really easy either to just know instinctively where I was going to go from playing so much, or just look up a map and figure it out and just run through areas real quick. I'm not going to do that in this run because it's more fun that way. I am, however, using a speedrunning guide in terms of getting through all the quests, but more specifically getting through all the quests in a specific order, because there are 2 quest lines specifically that I want to make sure I get through, just because I think they're some of the more interesting or fun parts of the story. So I am following a speedrunning guide, but I'm not speedrunning. Also because the speedrunning guide I'm following is for the console version. So some things have changed. Like I said, there's no government quests in the console version, so you lose a lot of time, I think, in Blue Burst. Just having to exit out into the lobby, go back into quests, and then do them again. Meanwhile, in the console version, it was all self-contained, so you would just go straight back to the ship when you were done a quest, and then you wouldn't have to do anything like that. It's super nostalgic. I understand that, you know what, that's probably why I'm getting so much enjoyment out of it. But it's great, and it really is. Once you get used to the music's the best. I've said in other streams before that I hate the Caves music, just because Caves is so long and it tends to loop too much. But no, the rest of the music in this game is top notch. Especially the boss music, and once we get to the Caves boss as well, I'm going to be cranking that. It's true. This is very true. A lot of repeat runs of this game for me have just completely died by the time I got to Caves. I forgot I can't switch weapons while I'm locked in. That was stupid. Well. Once again, though, a little shout out to the Ephinea private server. Still don't know how to pronounce that, but like I've said before, the English language is a living and breathing organism, and things are pronounced how you pronounce them. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Yeah, if Caves wasn't a required part of the game, I would probably just not do it, but gotta do Caves. But yeah, the private server that's hosting this, it's completely free. The launcher is free to download. The server is free to play on. There's absolutely no cost to it whatsoever. So if playing this 20-year-old MMO interests you whatsoever, it's a good thing to pick up. Level 176. Oh, that's... Oh my goodness, that's significant. Did they take you to, what's that quest called? Towards the Future? Is that the quest? I think it's Towards the Future. Oh yeah, yeah. So one of the VR quests. I've never done any of those. So I don't know exactly what they contain, but I do know that Towards the Future is a massive boss rush through like all the areas or something. So I might do that near the end of this run. I might do that just for funsies. See what that's all about. Pick that up. By the way, thank you for following HairyHare. I appreciate it. We're gonna get out of studio mode here. Okay. No idea where to go. We're just gonna go straight through. Okay, can't go this way. This game was most of my teenage years. I think I sunk on my first character. Oh, jeez. Probably like 300 hours, I think. And with that character, I did eventually get to Ultimate mode. But I only cleared Forest on Ultimate. And it just, it broke me, man. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna get through this unless I just grind the hell out of this. And you know what? At this point, I'm like 16 years old. I got important things to do. See, you already have one up on me because I played solo basically the entire time because I could never convince any of my friends to to play for more than maybe a day. But the sleepover games, best part of high school right there. Go to a friend's place, just run through Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, that was a good one. All of the Sonic Adventures were fun sleepovers way back when. Actually, any of the Sonic games. Because luckily most of my friends, they'd be into Sonic if you turned it on, but no, this one. Oh yeah. No, huge. Welcome to the Weeb stream. If it wasn't clear that I was a weeb by the fact that I'm playing Phantasy Star Online, I don't know how much bigger of a hint I need to give you. I could be playing Phantasy Star Online too, but that would require a modicum of effort to set up an account and get playing, which I did try once, and it was just, there was too many moon runes. I couldn't handle it. I can't drink coffee. There's sharks. I also recently picked up Dragon Ball Fighter Z, and I'm absolute garbage at fighting games, but that game is great. It's got amazing graphics for what it is, and just like the... Oh, you work at Funimation. Nice. Are you an animator, or you do other stuff? Like, I don't know exactly what else there is for people who work in an animation studio. Oh, okay. So what's coming up? Yeah, I realized after I said that, I was like, no, Funimation, they just do they do acquisitions of stuff, but is there anything coming up that I need to know about? Oh, jeez. Okay. Fire Force and Dr. Stone. Is that 2 different series or is that one show? I haven't been keeping up with what's been going on in the anime world in a very long time. Okay, cool. You'll have to give me a synopsis of those. Sell me on it. Sell me on a... Oh. Ah, well, I'll watch the sub of that. Sell me on Dr. Stone. What's that going on? Oh, okay. So it's like a post-apocalyptic sort of thing. Ooh, materials. Ugh. Oh. Is it the same studio or is it a different studio than the Soul Eater? The original, not Soul Eater, not. Oh, I do like Vikings. My friend Ray will really enjoy that one. He's a big Viking guy. David Production makes Fire Force. I actually don't know that studio off the top of my head. I'll have to look that up. But Soul Eater was a great series. I think I remember watching like... Oh, they did. Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay, I'll be checking that one out. I thought the JoJo adaptation was fantastic. Although, I haven't read the manga, so I don't have much to compare it to, but... Actually, my friends might say otherwise, but I was the one that got him into JoJo a long time ago. Yes, last week. Last Tuesday, specifically. So this is part 6 of 6 whole episodes that I've done. It's great. I know. This is a brand new world. Everyone went out and got a free layout for the stream set. OBS Stream Elements, great program. Shout out to them. I don't know. Whatever. I don't need my shout outs. I'm probably, I'll do a full playthrough of this, and I might do episode 3 if I feel like it, because I've got that on the whatchamacallit, the back burner. There's a couple of games also that I'd like to do. One of them is a Korean horror game that I really enjoyed. I've played like a level of. I might do that. Full-time job? What is that? No, but seriously though, I'm between jobs at the moment. My last one, there were some issues at work that I just couldn't deal with, so I got out of there. More time to clean the house is more like it, I think. That's not true. I just say that because my wife might be watching this, so. But actually, though, I do have to clean the hell out of the house today. It's an absolute mess. I've been making sourdough, and it's It's a very messy process. Uses a lot of resources, and it also stinks up the place. No, she's at work. She'll be fine. She won't see this. I can say anything I want about my wife on stream, and she'll never figure it out. So I'm gonna start now. She's beautiful, and I love her, and I'm the luckiest man alive. And she'll never hear that outside of... No, I'm kidding. I was very lucky to have met my wife when I did. And she... we managed to make it through acting school. Or I should say she managed to make it through, because I was the one in acting school, and I'm like, well, I'm in school for 13 hours a day. Every single day except Monday, so relationships, what are those? I don't think I have to worry too much about girls coming after me on the internet. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm not exactly a George Clooney type. Is that still relevant, saying that George Clooney is handsome? George Clooney's very handsome. I'm more of a Hugh Jackman guy myself, but that's just because I liked him in Oklahoma. And Wolverine. Which ones? I couldn't even... Yeah, it's treacherous ground out here. No, I couldn't even... Like, my girlfriend at the time, when I was a teenager, was an enormous... like sci-fi fan, video game fan. I couldn't even get her to play this game with me. It was unbelievable. I'd always be like, yo, you should try this out. It's so much fun. It's sci-fi. You create your character. You can be a robot girl. And she'd play for like 30 minutes and then be like, can we do something else? Let's play Katamari. Beware the thoughts. They come at night. Really? Are these real girls, or are they, No. So far, the only potentially tempting interactions have been with my buddy Ray, who came in here once, so... He likes wolves, but he missed the wolf room in episode, I think 3 it was, or the third time I did this. It was one of the first government quests, and it was just giant room full of wolves that I've never seen that many friggin' wolves before. I'm just running through there going like, man, Ray would really like this. Ah, hell. I'm getting hit with that too much. Excuse me. No problem. That's why swords are the best weapons. Walk through these. Cool guys don't look at exploding traps. I think there's some more around here. I'm cautiously hyped. I'm really not sure about PSO 2. I don't know. It just it wasn't just the excessive Japanese language that kind of turned me off. Like the gameplay, I don't know. It didn't hook me in, and I don't know why. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I'll definitely give it a go. And if I'm deciding I'm still going to be streaming by then maybe I'll stream it on here too, but I don't know. I know it's really like a big deal right now, or at least that's what I've heard, that a lot of people are actually playing it over in Japan. But you know, PSO 1 and 2 was also a big deal in Japan when it came out. It was a big deal everywhere when it came out. Not that I would know, because I was 7, but you know, would have been nice to be around and physically capable at the time of this game's popularity, because I don't know, it's one of those things, right? It's like you get into something 20, 30 years after it was popular, and you're like, man, this is so cool. I wish I could share it with other people, and by that point, no one else cares. And it's just like, it's just you, and you're the only guy who gives even half of a crap about it. Well, you're one of the first, so there you go. Actually, my wife was, when I told her I was going to stream, surprisingly, she thought that was a good idea. I was like, yeah, that'd be fun. Then she goes, make sure you don't swear too much on the stream. And I go, why? She goes, well, your nephews and nieces might be watching. And I'm like, they're not going to be watching me play this. they're like 12. They're going to be going and watching Ninja or anyone else playing Apex or Fortnite or something. But yeah, this is, I'm with you there. This is definitely forever probably going to be one of my favorites. I can just, like, at any point pick it up and just go to town, have fun. Come on. There we go. Actually, my sister-in-law does some streaming sometimes too, and I was at her house once when she was streaming Fortnite, and just, I don't know, she was actually kind of popular. I was a little surprised because, you know, I wouldn't have thought that. No, nothing against my sister-in-law. She's great, but just like, I don't know, it was a shock to me. I never imagined that a trap would look like a switch. How devious. That can be taken two ways. I don't know what her stream name was. Maybe she'll come in one time and she'll plug her stream. I don't know. I don't know if she does it anymore, because she's got 2 kids and a third on the way. So I think they tend to. I think having children tends to get in the way of things. See, I can see why people like it. I could not get into it myself. I think the team dynamic is a big thing for a lot of people. Like, you know, yeah, there's like Ninja and other streamers and guys who go in doing solo and they just kill everybody and do amazingly. But, you know, I know a lot of people when, like, I say, yeah, I tried Fortnite, I didn't really enjoy it. Because I played it for, oh geez, I don't know, like 4 hours or something one afternoon. I think I got through like 7 or 8 matches, and I was just like, no, I don't like it. I don't know if it was the gunplay. Maybe it wasn't that great, but you know, like, I like a lot of third-person shooters, but I don't know, it just didn't stick with me. And so everyone that I told about that, I was like, yo, I tried Fortnite, I didn't really like it that much. They just go, oh yeah, well, you gotta play it with friends. Like, you really, that's where it gets fun. I'm like, yeah, okay. But I felt the same way about League of Legends when I was really big on League of Legends. And eventually I just realized, you know what? I'm spending 50 minutes to an hour per game not really enjoying myself and getting mad at all my friends. The amount of money that I sunk into that hellhole of a game. I wish I could go back in time and slap myself. But, you know, I had to have the skin. I had to have Cyberpunk Ezreal or whatever that big, huge skin launch was. Man, they did a great job advertising. I'll give them that. Great marketing team on League of Legends. I played Guild Wars 2 when it came out for like, I don't know. I got to level cap and then I didn't feel like doing any raids, so I quit. But that was years ago. I just started playing old school RuneScape because the nostalgia factor is incredibly powerful. But I'm enjoying myself on that. And I will say, the mobile app for that, mobile app for old school RuneScape, I didn't think it would be any good. I thought it was going to be complete garbage. Like, utter trash. I was going like, oh, okay, no way. But, you know, I started playing a bit on the PC like 2 days ago. I'm going, okay, yeah, you know, it's almost the same as I remember it. There's some new stuff, but it makes it better. Like the Grand Exchange, that's a huge change that I'm really enjoying. But I downloaded the mobile app because it's just like, okay, well, you know, let's see how it is. And it actually, it runs better on my phone than it does on my computer. I don't know how that works. I don't know, that's got to be something to do with the launcher. But like on my phone, it's constant 60 frames. And, you know, I mean, the graphics are however many years old, but on my phone, it's constant 60 frames per second. I have an LG G7. So I have a pretty new phone, and I got it specifically because my older phone was kind of chugging in some of the stuff that I was doing on there. But like it's 60 frames per second on my phone, and the same graphics as I would get on my PC, and like I can go play it while I'm pooping. And it's like, doesn't get any better than that. It is a very good phone. I am a big fan of LG's phones. I had a G... Poop skate, yeah. Yeah. I had a G3 when that was like a year old, and then it died. So I got a G4, and that wasn't that good. I didn't really like that one. But then I got a G6 when I switched to a new carrier. I was supposed to get a V20, but they didn't have any. And I just recently got a G7, and I expect this is going to last me a while because it's pretty robust in terms of the level of future proofing. Like the processor is really damn good, and it's like up there with a lot of the other high-end phones. Like I think it's comparable to like a S9 or something. I don't know. It's on like GSM Arena and all those guys, but not the way I stream it. Right now I'm just running around the swamp killing rats until I get 20 in all of my attack stats, so it's not terribly exciting. Unless people just like listening to me talk, but I kind of run out of things to talk about after a certain point. And then it's just, you know, just some dude quietly sipping coffee, killing rats. Not exactly riveting content. Oh, you mean like doing reaction videos? I see. I'm not big on those, honestly. I don't know. Like I'm sure it is a quick way to get some followers and stuff, but I don't know. It's not the kind of content that I actually enjoy, and I don't know. I don't really want to make anything that I wouldn't personally watch. am I picking up that I don't need? I don't need that. What I do gotta do is figure out how to stream from my kitchen so I can just make bread and get followers. No. I gotta stop doing that. No problem. Oop. Ah. Thought I could sidestep. Yeah. I don't know. That's just the way the world is. It's the same with like you know, like making music, or it's the same with making anything, right? One sec. We thought that Ragdoll had been devoid of any sentient life, but look at that pillar! It's just like the one in the forest. Meow. Saving monument data. Yeah, that's new. I'm sure it will. It'll, you know, it's... I mean, nothing can last forever, right? Like, everything will pass away and die out one day or another. Oh, I will. Oh, I will. Trust me. One of the things that I got internet famous for, in huge quotation marks, was I did a stream, or not a stream. I did a recording of when I was doing some hacking on the Sonic Adventure 2 PC version. Just hacking the crap out of the Chow Garden, because, I don't know, it was fun. I know, Chow Garden, best part of the game. Best part of the game. But anyway, so this video I made, I had a Sonic Chow, and I put his speed to, like, the highest that it could go. It was like 999, whatever it was. Like, so high that it wouldn't even show. And that was all I did. I just gave him maximum speed and everything else. And then I just took this video where, you know, it starts up, and it's you get the fan, and it shows all the Chow, and there's Sonic, and there's all the rest of these Chow, and it's like, okay, they're gonna race. And I was like, ready, go, and he just takes off. He gets to the end in like 14 seconds or something like that. and I just put it on my Tumblr. It is on YouTube, yeah. My YouTube channel is MegaDudeTX2. It's pretty easy to find. But I put it on my Tumblr back when Tumblr was a thing, and I just called it "Gotta Go Fast," and that friggin' video got so many likes and retweets. I don't even use Twitter. That was my most popular anything that I've ever done, and I don't know how many it got. Actually, let me look it up real quick while stuff is loading here. I'll see how many notes I got there. A handy dandy Chromebook. It's in the top right corner of this stream. I'll type it here. Animals in the deepest part of the cave. Oh, this is a timed mission? Okay. I have never done this before. One sec. Okay, so as of right now, that video on Tumblr has 14,347 notes, which is approximately 14,340 more notes than anything else I've ever posted. Oh, please don't watch that. Please don't go through my old high school content. It's, you know what, do it anyway. Whatever. I don't give a hell. I don't give a shit. Channeling my acting teacher there. Yeah, it's me in my prime. back when I had crazy long hair and I could not care less about what anybody thought I was doing. Grade 11 and 12 were... That was a good time to be alive. Actually, one of those things on there, me and my friends did a Lord of the Flies series. Where it was for English 12, I think. Or, yeah, English 12. We just went outside and, like, condensed the entire story of Lord of the Flies to, like, 2 pages worth of script. And then just, you know, we didn't rehearse anything. We just went outside and we're like, okay, read these lines, and, like, threw in a crap load of memes and stuff. And, and at some point we were running out of time and we couldn't go outside because it was pouring rain, so we just printed out paper cutouts of ourselves and put ourselves in front of a paper background and then just did the rest of the scenes that we still needed to film. Anyway, we got like 100% on that project. And apparently there's an English teacher somewhere in the States that shows that video to her class when they do the Lord of the Flies unit in English. I'm just like, that's insane. But alas, times are changing. No, thank you. I mean, yes, thank you. No. That seemed to work. Feed my boy. Parasite mine. What? I don't know what that is. I guess we're gonna find out what that is at some point. Because it's not those. That's not. What the hell? Yeah, you laugh. You laugh. Thanks. Oh yeah. Well, especially Sonic Adventure 1. That had the highest quality facial animation. Sonic Adventure. Oh, geez. I remember reading a something somewhere. There's an interview with... I was reading something somewhere. It was an interview with the voice actors for Sonic Adventure. And, you know, someone asked them about, like, well, why were the facial animations so weird? And, or, like, even the timing of, like, some of the line readings was really, really bad for some reason, like, things overlapping, all this other stuff. And the guy goes, yeah, well, you know what? He said, when we're localizing it, like the amount of time that it takes to say an English phrase as opposed to saying it in Japanese, like there's a huge difference. And like they couldn't afford to change the animations to suit the English audio. So we were literally just throwing English lines in over animations, facial animations, and shot timing based off of the original Japanese audio. So like a lot of it just didn't line up whatsoever, and that's where you get things like, you're not even good enough to, I'll make you eat those words, and like weird stuff like that where things overlap and don't work. But especially with Sonic Adventure 1, that was, they were probably still figuring out how to do that. But you know, first foray into 3D, it can be quite the jump for some series. Some more than others. Like I know that Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 are objectively better in one sense, yes. From a from an outside standpoint, I don't know. Like I love it because I love cheese. I love cheesy voice acting and plots in video games, and like Sonic Adventure 1 and especially 2 is just the king of just being so whatever. It's like, okay. So it works for me, but you know, there's a lot of people that look at that and they go, this is just bad. And I know, you know, from an objective point of view, okay, it's not the best game ever, but it is the best one ever. Because my opinion is correct. And everyone else's is wrong. We're actually making pretty good time. We might be able to get to the boss before, like, 1:15 or something like that. Oh, I'm screwed. I'm screwed. Yep. Ooh. Oh, excuse me. Goodness. Oh, that's the exact same one as before. I was like, did I see that before? I don't know. Close my laptop. Okay. Another one of those rooms where being an android is infinitely better than not. Which is to say, all of those rooms. Alright, bring me some too, will ya? I'm out. Ooh, hosting. I don't know what that means, but that's exciting. Went the wrong way. No, you know what? I don't want to deal with any of you. Not today. Okay. Where am I going here? That way. Let's try. But actually, though, I should have made more coffee. Had like 3 cups of coffee already, and portal? Nope. Hallway. Close enough. Trap lock. Goodbye. What the hell happened there? Ooh. A lot of boys in here. I don't want that. Okay. I feel like a kid in the back seat of a car. Are we there yet? Are we at Caves 3 yet, Dad? No, son. I gotta run through these sharks first. But Dad, what are the sharks doing not in the water? Don't ask so many questions, son. This is why your mother left. It's the key to comedy right there. Just make jokes about parents leaving families. Always gets a laugh. Oh, shit, right. Okay. I gotta stop changing weapons when I'm stuck in a web. Jump. Ah, there it is. Coffee obtained. That didn't work too well. Oh, right. All this muscle memory is throwing me off. Is the coffee good at your workplace? So I don't think I've worked at a single workplace other than like Starbucks where the coffee was any good. Okay. Well, that's good. Oh, there's a guy here. What's going on? Where is he? Where'd he go? Oh, other side. Is it a Simonelli? One of those? I don't know. That's usually what I see in like nice break rooms. Is one of those ones. Haha, there we go. Yeah, I worked as a coffee technician for a little under a year, driving around fixing espresso machines and stuff. But they make really good, really like high quality machines. Simonelli. My buddy at work actually he was gonna start his own coffee shop. I'm really not. I'm the kind of guy who drinks Starbucks, like just the dark roast all the time. So don't ask me for opinions on what roast is good. But I'm quite familiar with the different kinds of machines and stuff like that. But especially the Starbucks machines. Those are okay. But my one of my buddies, who is also a technician, he was gonna start his own coffee business, and then things fell through with just stuff going on outside of work. But yeah, he was gonna source like 3 of these Simonelli machines, and like, oh, it's crazy. He was giving me the whole layout of this thing. It was just gonna be him with a whole bunch of espresso machines, and he would just do like really good coffee, and it, you know, foolproof, right? Like, where can you go wrong with that? Unfortunately, we're also in one of the most expensive cities in the entire world to live and to work, and yeah. We do tend to have a lot of pop-up coffee shops, though. But not all of them last very long. Although it doesn't help that the coffee is usually bad, so... I think I could tell you, I could probably count on one hand the amount of times that one of my friends has been like, yo, there's this great new coffee place. It just opened up downtown. We should go check it out. And it's actually been like a good cup of coffee. One hand. And I've been to a lot of these places, and it's always the same thing. Like they got the thing in the front. The register is that white machine that it's got the thing, and then they turn it around. It's got the tip thing on it, and it goes like, "How much you want to tip? 16% if you really like this." It's got a little smiley face, and then they go out and they brew your cup of coffee, and they don't use enough grounds. And it's a really light roast, and you just sip it, and it's a cup of water. It's just... And this cup of water cost like $7, because it's hand-ground beans, and we got them from a local roastery, and it's a local cup manufacturer, and we got the water from a local hot spring. It's like, geez, can you make me a good cup of coffee instead? Like, why do you have to spend all this money on getting beans you're not going to use properly through machines you don't know how to use properly with... it's just... Oh, I need 4 people to go through that door. That's the first time that's happened to me. So whenever people ask me out to coffee, I always end up suggesting where to go. But there have been a few occasions where I've been there, they invite me out, they're like, let's go grab a cup of coffee, hang out, and I go there, and like, you know, yeah, it's local beans and it's hand ground and stuff like that, but it's actually a really nice cup of coffee. And like the store is laid out really nice, and they got like hardwood chairs and like the, you know, those tables that just are literally giant slabs of a tree that you slap onto some legs, like, and it's super comfy, and there's lots of people there, and they're all sipping coffee and working, and this place has been around for like 10 years, and it's like, okay, I can see why. Because this is super comfy, and this coffee is great, and I only paid like $3 for it. Like, so I think I know like maybe 3 or 4 places like that. What's that for? Oh, that's what that's for. Opens the gate. Cool. Didn't need to do that. But when I'm at home, I've just got to... Did I really do a loop? I did a loop. And this is why caves is the worst. Just the worst. All video games. At least we had a nice chat. So now we get to go through the other side. The side we were supposed to go through. Although I should have known. Rico's thing... Oh my gosh. I'm getting rusty. Old and rusty. Like I missed out on an enemy. Wait, didn't I go this way? No. Oh boy, here we go. Okay, I went that way. How did I... Okay. Alright. I am also 25. What a coincidence. Whew, it's warm in this room. I would have the fan on, but it kept blowing on the mic and making weird noises. So it would basically it would just be having another one of me in here. Yes, no, it is no wonder. Although, like I said, a lot of my friends my age, I could never get them into this game. I don't know why. I just checking. But I do think this does appeal to our specific age category, I think, because it was just around the time we were getting into games, like seriously, like getting our own consoles and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, here's a game that you can play for hundreds of hours, and also you're in high school, so you have hundreds of hours to actually play this game. And it's like, all right, let's do it. For me, it was this and Pokemon Gen 3 and 4. More so Gen 4. I dumped. Like, no joke. I have this save file somewhere. I dumped just under 500 hours into Pokemon Diamond. And that was all breeding and EV training and stuff like that. Top 3 anime. Ooh, I don't know if I want to show my cards yet. Let me think about that while I kill some sharks, and I will list those in a sec here. I'm just trying to think of what I've actually watched and enjoyed. Oh. Okay. So probably number 3, Code Geass. Great story. Season 2 was a little rough to start, but by the end of it, you know, I could get into it. But just like Lelouch, he's a great character. All of the just as planned stuff that he's doing, it's fantastic. I know a lot of people say that like Death Note is very similar in the terms of like I came prepared for this and then I prepared myself for this, and also the psychological everything about Death Note. I've watched like 3 episodes of Death Note, so I'm sure it's as good as everyone says, but I can't put it on my list because I haven't watched all of it. Number 2, and this is gonna lose me a lot of points with some people. The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. That was my first, other than like stuff that I'd watch on Fox Kids, like Sonic and Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that. Haruhi was the first anime, like legit anime, that I watched as a teenager, and it's just like, oh, it's so good. And then season 2 comes along and they do all the stuff where they mess with your head and like they do the 8-episode loop, and it's hilarious and I love it, and everyone hates it and I don't care because it's funny with the Endless 8. And then the Haruhi movie is so damn good. Like, not even just as like a fan of the series or anything. The movie, just it's quality. It's Kino. I need to watch Code Geass again too, though. I haven't watched the English dub of Geass, though I have heard it is excellent. And yes, the OP is excellent as well. But anyway, my number 1 is Evangelion, because you know it's the best damn anime that's ever come out. My friend and I trying to remember. Okay, so it's a 9-minute time mission. This is weird. This is weird. I think she was a lot of people's wife. I'm more of an Asuka. No, not Asuka. Rey. More of a Rey guy myself. But I like... I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this. I like emotionless women characters in anime. That's also why I really liked Haruhi, because of Yuki Nagato. One was just the purest wife. Great. Please don't let my wife watch this episode. No, see, they're the kinds that you think would be that, but then like you really get to know what's going on, and it's like they're actually like superpower people. Like the whole thing with, I mean, Haruhi's like 13 years old now. I don't think I'll be spoiling it for anyone, but the episode where Yuki fights what's her name, the other alien in the classroom. Oh, that blew my freaking mind. I was just like, okay, yeah, okay, this is the best character. Yeah. And then she just got better throughout the series, but yeah, Evangelion. My buddy and I marathoned it over the course of like, I think 2 or 3 days, when we had both just gotten out of like really toxic relationships, and like I was unemployed and he was unemployed and everything was horrible and just life really wasn't going very well. And like I hadn't even really hung out with him all that much outside of like school, so I wasn't really that big of a friend to him at that point, but he lived closer than anyone else. And other people were like really busy. Yeah, but you know what? They happen, and you learn from them as best as you can. If you are able to get out of them, that is. I know people who've had significant issues getting out of those, but anyway. So we were both super depressed, and we hadn't really bonded much. Yeah, exactly. No, I'm incredibly, like I've said before, I'm incredibly lucky to have met my wife when I did. I mean, we've been married for 2 years now, and like I honestly couldn't imagine life without her. And she gets me, she supports me, she realizes I'm not going to be making a whole lot of money being an actor, but I'm doing it anyway. Anyway, so Evangelion. So I just, I'm texting this guy. I'm like, yo, dude, you want to hang out? Like, cause I know, you're not doing so well, and I'm not doing so well. Let's hang out. Let's do something. And he's like, okay. So we like play some video games. Just whatever. And then one day I'm like, dude, do you want to watch Evangelion? Cause we were getting to the point where it's like, okay, we're hanging out 3-4 times a week, just like hanging out for like 7 or 8 hours a day, and like sleeping over all the time and just like chilling. It was fantastic. But so one day I'm just like, yo, you want to watch Neon Genesis Evangelion? I heard it's a really good show. And he goes, yeah, sure, whatever. And he wasn't that big into anime, and I wasn't really that big into anime. That's not true. I was always kind of big into anime, but we were just like, all right, let's give it a shot. And the amount of emotional bonding that we experienced just from the trauma of Evangelion was just... There's a reason why we're such close friends now. But Evangelion is the best fucking show. Okay. Yeah. So we watched the series, and then, by the end it runs out of budget, and then they just, like, do the... And after we watched the last 2 episodes, we're just, like, sitting there speechless, because it's like, Did that really just happen? Unfreaking believable. Oh man, I thought I was gonna go fight the. Okay, I think we got time to do it anyway. We're gonna see this boss that kills me. Yeah, so we watched that and we're just like, that was insane. And then we watched End of Evangelion the next day and we're just, that was more insane. It's great. It's Kino AF. Oh, you better not. I'm trying to solo. Get out. You're at work. Don't play don't play PSO at work, man. How many grinders do I got? I got some grinders. I mean, I'm sure you could, but not play PSO or just join the game. Okay, sort this. Oh, I don't want that. Thanks. Okay. We're gonna get to the boss, I promise. We're doing it. Waterway Shadow. Nice. It's always nice to actually get some quests done instead of one quest and then wandering around aimlessly. Yeah. You know the rapper Akon? That's me. But I had to change the K to a C because I wanted to remain anonymous. I don't know. I'm skipping over all this important plot. There's a strange shadow in the water. It's Shadow the Hedgehog. He's gonna be swimming along. I'm sorry, I spoiled it. Yeah, she's nice. I'm pretty sure she's the one who's asking you for the cake in the cake quest. And that's just so funny to me. Okay. And we're in Caves 1 and I'm gonna kill myself. Great. It was free. It didn't even cost any money. In the original game, it cost money. You find the cake shop in the middle of a friggin' dungeon filled with demons, and they're like, "Hey, you want a cake? It's $1,000." And you have to buy the cake. If you don't get the cake, then you can't get into the whatever, the mayor's house or something. But in this game, they're just hanging out, and you go see them. They're like, "Hey, have some cake, dude. Here, some free cake. We're the Cake Sisters. I don't care about sharks. We gotta make some cakes down here. The lava, it's good for the cooking of the cake." Ooh. Cake shop is a purest example of true communism in action. Where the payment received for the cake is not monetary reimbursement, but it is instead the knowledge that you are making a contribution to the society around you and to your fellow man or woman. I can't talk about comedy. I haven't read any books. Not that I Yeah, no, I just I kind of knew, because by the by the time I actually figured that I wanted to get engaged to her, like, we had been dating for 3 years already, and like I said, I had been in acting school, and it was super intense, and it was like 13 hours a day every day, horrible experience for her, because it was like you never get to see me at all, and then when we do, it's like one day for a few hours, and it was incredibly stressful. But you know, I figure if she can make it through that with me, like, that's a keeper. And actually, one of my acting teachers, in my first semester at school, said to me, I can't remember what. Oh, she was telling me that I should consider piercing my ears for whatever reason, because she was like, "Oh, it'll look really good." And I said, "Well, my girlfriend won't allow me to do it." And she goes, "Well, you'll be broken up by the end of the year anyway." I was like, excuse me. But at that point in my school career, I was horribly afraid of her, so I didn't argue. But I did try online dating for like, I think 2 months, and I got one message. That was it. So if you have more than one message, you're already doing much better than I ever did. So, you know, keep it up. But no, seriously, I know a lot of people have had really good success with online dating. I think I just didn't necessarily have the how did I only have one? Because I was because I had hair down to here, and yeah. No, I should have been swimming, just swimming in women. But no, because I had hair down to here, and I was 260 pounds. Most of it was not muscle, and I was not very nice at that point. See, I'm gonna go this way because there's a capsule, so I know that's the way to go. I'd be very sad if I'm wrong about that. So I was kind of a insufferable human being. Yeah, no, we'll put it that way. I really, for a while there, I really well, let's put it this way. You know those kinds of people who, like, I'm just trying to think of an example. Okay, so for example, for a while there, I would only listen to music that was played with, like, real instruments, because I thought that anything else was not real music. So I was a big, like, classic rock guy, and like someone would like go like, "Oh, check out this EDM track," and I go like, "You listen to that? Like, it's just blips and bloops on a computer." And that was before I really got into EDM. But you know, I had a very elitist personality. It didn't help that I went on 4chan a lot starting in high school, so I kind of absorbed a lot of that snobbish sort of like everything I like is better than anything you like personality, which ended up being okay in high school, because when you're in high school, like, that kind of personality makes people think that, oh, he's really confident, and that's like a really interesting personality trait. So it was kind of like an echo chamber for me in high school, because it was like I was really arrogant, and I was convinced that my taste and my opinions were superior to anything else. And so then you get out of high school and you had past tense. I feel like I see where this is going. It's back then especially, you know, especially back in the day, back when I was like 13, 14 years old, it was a cesspool of negativity. But you know, that was also yeah. So like I never went so far as to being like social outcast level type thing. Like I said, I kind of got a little lucky, and I was just arrogant enough for it to seem like I was just really confident for no reason. And that fed into the thing of like, oh, well, I don't really care what other people think about me. I'm just going to do what I want. And that also sounded like confidence instead of just arrogance, and is a super attractive quality to have when you're 13 years old. But then you get out of high school and you still got that same attitude. Well, all of a sudden, no one likes you because you're annoying, and everyone's out trying new things and trying to better themselves and learn how to be a proper human being, and you're sitting in the corner going like, I don't enjoy this. I want to just listen to music. And it's like, that's not attractive to anyone. You know, opposite sex, same sex, anything. It's just not. So, you know, I kind of pushed a lot of people away at that point in my life, and trying to date other people at that point was not great. So it took my relationship at the time ending, and losing my job and a whole bunch of other stuff that really switched things up for me. Yeah, it was kind of like, because, you know, I really wasn't taking care of myself either, so I got quite overweight, and, you know, I wouldn't cut my hair for a long time because I was like, oh, long hair is cool. Anyone who doesn't like long hair is stupid. So, you know, to my credit, I'm trying to put this in a way that's not going to come back to bite me. To my credit, the way that ending the relationship was handled on either side was really not great at all. Basically, my girlfriend at the time told me, you know what, I'm just not physically attracted to you anymore, and I think it's because you're just not physically attractive enough, or at least that was how I perceived that was what she was saying. She was also going off to school in a different part of the province. There's a whole bunch of factors that make complete sense when you actually look at it, and also, again, I was not a very nice person. So, like, looking back on it now, I'm like, okay, I kind of understand now. Like, I still don't think it was handled very well, but I also really didn't handle it very well either. So, but that was like, you know, to me, where I was in that point, it was like, okay, so what you're basically saying is I'm too fat for you to be in love with me. And that was crushing because I'd always been like pretty fat. Like I'd always been a really big guy. I kind of evened out a little bit in the early years of high school because I shot up like 3 feet. And, you know, I stretched out a bit. And so, you know, I was whatever. But, like, yeah, I had really let myself go physically. And then the job I was at, the store closed down because it wasn't profitable. And I tried to be at another location. But I was late pretty much every day because the bus didn't run on time. And also I was super lazy. And so that didn't work. So I was out of a job, and I was too fat to have a girlfriend anymore. And I was just kind of like, everything is horrible, and nothing can get any better. So, like, what am I supposed to do here? I went the wrong way. So I was in a really, really bad place. I won't go too much into detail about that, but yeah, no, just one night I think I came to the realization, like, look, yeah, it all sucks right now, but you know what? You can sit here feeling sorry for yourself, or you can actually go and do something about it. So, you know, I'm like, okay, I got a lot of free time. I am gonna talk to my dad because he was home because he was working from home, and we're gonna go to the gym. So we made a pact. We would go to the gym 3 times a week, and if one of us didn't want to go to the gym on any particular day that we were supposed to go, the other person was allowed to punch them in the face. And so we shook on that, and we never missed a day. And, you know, we just went 3 times a week, and we'd hop on the elliptical machines because we were big guys. And, you know, we would always go at lunchtime because he had a long lunch break because he was the, you know, head marketing guy. And so he could basically go on lunch whenever he wanted for as long as he wanted. So we would go 3 times a week at lunch. And it was great because I got to, you know, I got to bond with my dad over something, which I think was probably one of the first steps into, like, really becoming good friends with my father, and I still am. And B, you know, I'm going to the gym 3 times a week all of a sudden. Well, then on top of that, both me and my dad decide, you know what, we're going to stop eating so much junk food. And, like, instead of like eating lunch, we'll just have like a Cliff Bar. So then we started dieting, and then I started really getting into calorie counting because 4chan had a lot of really good information about all that stuff. I know, right? Specifically the Fit board, great resource for me, especially in my first, Fit, exactly. Especially just starting out, trying to work out and figure out things, whatever the hell's going on. Amazing resource. Taught me all about calorie counting, how to do it without wanting to kill yourself. A lot of stuff that I still use to this day in terms of just like general knowledge about working out and all that stuff. So I was learning a lot, and I was slimming down, and I got myself down to like 215 pounds from 260, and cut my hair, got rid of that. All of a sudden, I'm looking pretty good. And then, you know, this was also when I'm like hanging out with my buddy Colin and doing a whole bunch of fun stuff with friends, and I'm trying to be more outgoing because I was always really bad with like not going to things because people would be like, hey, let's do a thing. And then I'd be like, oh, I don't really want to go because I want to stay at home and play Phantasy Star Online on the GameCube. And so I was actually going out and hanging out with my friends and like doing stuff outside and going on long walks in the sunshine and like being sociable and all this stuff. And just like every day it felt like I was getting better and better. And you know, I was listening to new music, I was trying new stuff and just like figuring things out, like what's the big deal about like listening to EDM over listening to metal? Like it's all good. Like I enjoy myself just as much listening to Daft Punk as I do listening to Metallica. Why is that? If one music is supposed to be supposedly objectively better than the other? Well, the answer is because one style of music is not objectively better than that. And it's stuff like that. Like it was, you know, a whole bunch of trying new stuff and doing things that I wasn't really comfortable with before. And eventually I became significantly less insufferable. And then I met my wife doing a play at church. Yeah, exactly, reformed. And I met my wife, and I asked her out, and she's like, okay. And then we went out for lunch, and I was like, we should go out again. And she was like, did you think this was a date? I was like, yes. And she goes, I'm really not ready to date anybody. And I was like, oh, all right. So then I went to my friends, and I was like, yeah, I'm not really interested in her at all. And then 2 months later, we were like actually dating. And it just got better from there. And then I went to acting school. And that basically took anything that I was still holding on to. Essentially, yeah. But acting school took anything else that I had still been holding on to from my old attitude, which was this elitist 4chan attitude, and just like they basically said, like, look, if you're going to be this way, you are not gonna make it through this school. Because the school I went to, it wasn't just, you know, you pay your tuition and you go and they hold your hand and you get a degree at the end. It was like, if you don't hold yourself up to a certain standard, they just say you're not allowed to come back. Get out. So I was told a number of times in my first semester, like, if you don't shape up, if you don't take whatever this thing is that you've got going on, this attitude of like, I know what's best and no one else is right and I don't need anybody else, blah, 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 blah. If you don't take all of that negativity and throw it out the door, then you're getting thrown out the door. Because it's all of it is getting in the way of you being a legitimate artist. And that just like that it broke me. Like my first semester at acting school, I think I broke down crying more than I ever have in my entire life. But like that's what it's built to do. Like that's the school that I went to is very, you know, it's a reputable school. And the reason it's so reputable is because like you might get 14, 15 students in a catchment, and by the time 6 semesters go by, well, there's only like 6 of them left. Because, you know, the rest either got kicked out or realized it wasn't something that they wanted to do or like whatever. But, you know, you don't get through the school unless you go through the process, and the process works, and it's crazy. And it completely changed my outlook on everything. It changed my outlook on like just everyday life. It changed my outlook on art and, you know, what I was doing with myself and what I should be doing. And I was like, okay, is that supposed to be happening right now, or is that a glitch? That Okay. Anyway, so I came out of school a completely different person than I was when I went in. And that's the guy you're talking to right now. And I graduated like 2 years ago or something like that. But if I had to rank the most important parts of my life, acting school is way up there. I'd say it's probably like number 2. Getting married is number 1, obviously, but like it's a, you know, being in that environment, especially surrounded by people who are artists, people who are really interested in, you know, creating things. You can't have really a negative attitude in that space, because it's not conducive to creating. Because you're really a lot of what creating is just saying, I don't know if this is going to work and it might suck, but let's do it anyway and see what happens. And I would not have been able to do that before, you know, going through that whole process. I would have been like, you know, this might suck, so I'm not going to do it because I don't want to do anything that's going to make me feel uncomfortable. So, you know, life lessons. Life lessons with Sconicon. Learn about how to become a better person while watching a cute robot girl with a blue sword slash up slimes and sharks. Yeah, no, I would say I have, but obviously I'm still learning. I'm not claiming that I'm perfect. I still have a lot of hang-ups. I just recently decided to stop getting into massive political arguments on Facebook, so that's, you know, that's a step forward. My dad still does that. Ooh. See, being on the outside of it, it's funny. Because it's like, man, how can someone be like so whatever about, you know, but then if you ever let yourself get involved, it's like life or death. Because it's like someone's wrong on the internet. And I have to prove them right because I can't let people be wrong. People have to know the right thing. And you know, that goes along with like the edgy 14-year-old atheist thing that lots of people fall into, myself included, very briefly. But like, you know, you gotta you're especially on Facebook. You gotta just let people go. Like let them do their thing. Let them be crazy, or not even be crazy. Let people believe in things that maybe you don't agree with, because maybe they might be right about something. I don't know. I mean, whatever. But yeah, on the outside, it's really funny. As long as people aren't getting legitimately hurt, like with the anti-vax thing, that's a whole other story. But I gotta focus. This room is full of dudes. And by full of dudes, I mean there's one slime left. You gonna come out? Thanks. Bye. What am I doing? I've kind of been on autopilot for the last little while here. I haven't been paying any attention to where I've been going, what I've been doing. I'm completely lost. Okay. It's like when you're driving and you kind of just tune out. You're like, man, what should I have for lunch today? Should I have tuna? Should I have a peanut butter sandwich? I don't know if I should have a peanut butter sandwich. I had a peanut butter sandwich yesterday. Oh, come on. Ick. Yeah, exactly. Let me tell you my tragic backstory with sharks in the background. I think everyone's tragic backstory would be improved with a room full of sharks. But that's just my opinion. Let's blow this. Nothing. I don't care. Okay. Oh, my hands are getting sweaty. We're in caves 3 now. That's good. We're almost there. We're all gonna make it. We're gonna make it. If I can make it to the boss and murder it by 2, I'm gonna be very happy. But that means I have to make it to the boss in like less than 10 minutes. So. Speedrun strats. I don't know any speedrun strats. It's too bad because it would come in handy right now. Did I just pick up something I didn't want? Nope. Wait, I do have something I don't want. Get rid of that. Need trap vision? I am trap vision. No joke, please. Always bet on west. Yeah, this is the right way to go. He said, speaking completely out of his ass. Okay. Alright. Doing okay. What does this do? Oh, that opens the thing. And then there's a thing back there. I'm pretty sure. It's a thing with the thing and the... No, what am I doing? Where am I going? Who am I? What the hell? Oh, that opens that. Okay. We can do it. 15 minutes. No problem. And I definitely will not die at all to the boss ever. Because I'm good at video games. And I've never died to that boss. For those of you just joining us, that is a complete and utter fabrication. I've died to that boss more than I've died to any other boss in the entire game. Including the one who has an instant death spell. So that's saying something. Let's put my lead down. And then, nope. I always like when you kill one of those guys and the other guy just like stands there shocked that his other half just died in front of him. It's like, I know they're monsters, but no, I don't care about those sharks. I care about these sharks. They're purple sharks. Also a daily dose of now I've got baby shark stuck in my head, but baby replaced with evil shark. Not gonna sing it. You can imagine it yourselves. General body. My instructor at military school. I'm just kidding, I never went to military school. I had a friend in cadets. If that counts. It doesn't count. Ooh, a timing puzzle. Just kidding. No timing required. Goodbye. You thought you could get me with that gate? I'll have you know I'm the king of gates. They call me the gatekeeper because my basement is full of gates. I don't know where this joke is going. Just bail. Bail. Oh, nice. Oh. I mean, just as planned. It's exactly what I wanted to happen. Calculated. Heck. Heck. Now we're grooving. Now we're moving. I'm gonna get worked back, aren't I? I'm 100% gonna get worked back. I just did a loop. I would like to know if they've changed this on the server. Because I think there's a threshold. There's an attack damage threshold that you need to break in order to damage the pan arms in its combined form. But usually by now I can do that. Actually, usually on the console version by like level 15 I can do that. But I'm level, I'm level 22 now, and I'm still doing 0 damage to it. I don't know why that is. I do not like Caves 3. I do not like it. Sam I am. Damn it. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for joining. Thanks for following and doing all the rest of the stuff. You seriously made this stream like way more enjoyable, because it's way more enjoyable to actually be talking to somebody instead of just talking to myself. So, thanks for coming in. And have a good rest of your day at work. At least I assume you still have work to do. Important story point. The monsters changed when they were pierced by a tentacle by the worm. Oh. Thanks, man. I'll see you around. Okay. Please, I just want to see the worm. Oh yeah, spoilers, the boss is a giant worm. Oh, goodness. Nice. I don't actually know what either of them do, but that's fine. That's a 4-way door, so I can get through. Okay. Come on. Oh no. I really wish you wouldn't. That was just... You could just, like, stop existing in general. Cruel thing to say to a flower. Oh, is this? No, it's not. I just want to get out of the caves. So all things considered. Oh, this is important. Dramatic reading time. I've got such mixed emotions. I'm scared, but excited. Inspired, even. Should I act as a scientist now? Or should I act as a hunter who is facing unknown enemies? I feel like someone's herding me somewhere. But where? To the underground. I feel like I'm being invited. Just, clip that and pitch my voice up like 3 cents or something like that. That'll sound like a girl voice. Kind of a deep timbre for a girl voice, but that's okay. One of these days, gonna get out of the caves, and I walked around in a circle. Okay, alright. Everything's fine. What? But... What? Okay. Now I'm getting upset. Nice. I went... I didn't go that way. That's the way I'm supposed to go. Okay. Everything's fine. Everything's totally okay. First I was afraid, I was petrified, that I'd be inside these caves all day. And that's the end of the song. By the way, shoutouts to my pirate song, which is available. You can find it on the Evan Williams Project on YouTube, where I do music that also isn't meant to be a complete joke. But D&D, great game. D&D. I was playing with my friends, and there was a point where we were all on a boat, and we were very, very slowly pulling this boat up Waterway, because we figured that was the most efficient way to go. We were completely wrong, but you know what? We have to commit to it. And the ongoing joke became that my character, who was a bard, would be singing a sea shanty, and the sea shanty was, "Oh, I knew I was a sailor since the day I saw the sea." And that's the end of the song. One more time. And then that song would just go on for 4 hours. Okay, we're here. We're finally here. It's been a long time since I've done this. Let's pump up the jams, because this boss music's good. I'm gonna shut up, and I'm gonna let the music play, because it's so good. So I'll see you guys on the other side. my goodness. Oh, man. It's like I'm in high school all over again. Oh, that feels good. Let's just grab everything. We got a knife. Get some frames. Oh, I'm sweating. There's my favorite boss, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh, it's so good. Blade plus 10. What is that? Extremely high performance short sword. I kind of want to know what that is. We're gonna. So that's the caves. We're clear. We don't have. We're on to the next area, I think. But I would just like to see what my new weapon looks like. So we're gonna hop into the forest real quick. We're gonna kill some boomas with my blade plus 10. Spoilers, you just saw the 4 areas. Oh no, don't look back. Oh, it's the pink one, nice. So this is the third tier, I think, of weapons. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let's stab some bears in the face. Nice. 50s are a nice damage point. We're probably going to find more of these weapons. More of this tier in the next area, but you know, it's always nice to get one just in advance. That's kind of the nice thing, I guess, about government quests is they've got these quest rewards now, and they're pretty good. Get you some nice weapons. All right, that is going to be it for today. I've already gone like a half hour longer than I planned to. I do have to go do stuff around the house today, otherwise my wife's going to be mad. So it's been a lot of fun, especially shout out to HairyHare for being the guy in the chat room that made this a very enjoyable time to be streaming, even though the caves are the worst place to be. Yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you tomorrow at lunchtime for the next area, the next set of quests. Actually, I think there are a couple more quests in the caves area, so I'm we got a couple, one more day of fighting sharks, and then we'll be good. That's a lie. You never stop fighting the sharks. Anyway, it's been fun. It's been a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.